the game that was played last night, the cap to the weekend, and a fitting way to close out with the Bills hosting the Chiefs, and that poor Bills fan who was crying in the stadium when the game was finally over with, sums up Bills bettors and the state of that organization and how tortured they are as a fan base. But I do think, even with that number going back and forth the entire time before kickoff of 2.5 or 3, the Chiefs were the right side there in that game, and it probably should have been worse than what it was. I mean, when you run basically 43 plays and you have 360 yards of offense, and you have 8 plays of 20 yards or more compared to the Bills with 0, and you completely botched it again after the stupid fake punt by Sean McDermott, and you're running Hardman at the goal line for some reason I will never be able to comprehend. Chiefs were the right side there, and they probably deserve to be playing Baltimore in the AFC title game.
Yep, and wide right again, which even if Bass makes it, it's not going to matter. Mahomes is going to go right down the field.
Yeah.
McDermott butchered that at the end, or even if you score, you're going to give Mahomes all that time. And don't put it on Bass. I mean, I didn't think he was going to make it anyways. But Diggs is wide open and drops the bomb. Allen has guys open. He could have had a touchdown there on 2 of the throws, or at least a first down.
Allen completely screwed up that sequence.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is just a tough way to go out. But you also have so many guys hurt on the defensive side of the ball. And 6 years in a row, Mahomes is in the AFC title game. And it's just all the issues they had on offense and the drops. And here they are, 1 win away from going back to the Super Bowl. It's nuts. But you feel for the Buffalo fans, I don't think they would have beat. They're probably going to get run out against the Ravens anyways. But you really have to look at yourself in the mirror and examine things now in the offseason, because there's some monster head coaches out there. You can't get over the hump. This is their ceiling. It's a big deal that you can't beat Mahomes because he's not going anywhere. And the Bills get beat again. You got this game at home. You finally got Mahomes coming to town, and you still lost.
Got the lead at halftime.
Had the lead at halftime, yep.
You're able to run on this team.
Yep.
They're giving you everything that you want underneath. Nothing deep. You know, Spagnuolo is really, really good. Obviously, he's a defensive coordinator. But you're running on that team, and then it just... Man, the fake punt really drove me nuts. I don't know why he was pulling out the Dan Campbell business there.
Well, that's Hamlin. I mean, I don't know why they would do. They saw something there on the field.
I know they saw that they were short a guy
on the
and they were going to call it.
Yep.
But I think you're exactly right. Like, if you're Buffalo and you have a chance, I mean, honestly, if you think about it for a second, if you're Jim Harbaugh, you could step into a team like Buffalo and have a borderline Super Bowl ready team the minute that you take over, compared to, like, if he goes to the Chargers. They have a lot of work to do in LA.
Yep.
Now, he'll make it work over the years. I'm quite confident in that, because he works wherever or Belichick, if you're the Bills, honestly, do you not send out a Hail Mary last night?
Sure.
Say, hey, look, I know you're getting hot and heavy here with Atlanta, but we're willing to move on from McDermott if you want to come here. I would absolutely talk to every single person I could imaginable if I'm the Buffalo Bills. You're right.
I know a guy who covered the team who tweeted that out. I'm with you. I mean, you just call Harbaugh, say how much you want. Let's go.
Yep.
I can't take this anymore. I mean, it's a big problem if you can't beat Mahomes, and they can't beat Mahomes. And I know you had injuries, but there's a lot of changes I would make, and Diggs can take his tired act and go somewhere else too, because I need him, and he's wide open and he drops a bomb. So between wide right and how they lose that game, and you get the gift touchdown to Shakir on 3rd and goal from the 13, you're thinking they're going to do this. And they can't get a stop.
Yep. So again, after the 2-minute warning, when they're down 27-24, Josh Allen is going into the end zone. He had the one guy wide open, missed him. Mm-hmm. He threw it too short on that. But again, you have to pick up 9 yards. That's it. And he's playing. And by the way, if they score there, think about this for a second. If you score a touchdown there, you're going to give Kansas City approximately a minute 40-ish to work with. They have 2 timeouts. And, oh, by the way, this is the same team that beat you 2 years ago when there were 13 seconds left in the game.
Right.
How'd you not learn some sort of a lesson there? The way that you were managing the clock. A touchdown there is essentially, in my opinion, no good. Because, you're going to go up 4. If Bass makes the extra point, mind you, but you have to get a stop from Mahomes when you couldn't get a stop the entire game.
That's why they're sick of McDermott in Buffalo, because of game management and all that, how you played that time and time again. So, right, it was, even if you score, he has an eternity, or he makes the field goal. Yep. He's just going to go right down the field, and Bucker's going to kick the game-winning field goal anyways.
So then that whole sequence, when it was Hamlin, saw that they were down a man or two on special teams, the fake punt. Then after that, this is what still bothers me a little bit about the Chiefs, the short yardage stuff. And it's amazing what people think about McCole Hardman, not named Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, because I was baffled the first time they ran that reverse to him in the red zone. I'm like, what? And then he fumbled it, and it was lucky that it didn't get recovered by the Bills. I'm thinking, what are you running a play with him anyway? Right. And everybody responded to me on X saying the guy should not even be in the league. He's that bad. Put it this way, they better hope that Tony can go in the championship game. I'd rather have Tony out there on the field than this guy. And then they go back to him at the goal line. Now, do you think there was enough evidence there to overturn that? Was it absolutely like a fumble and out of bounds, and then it goes through the end zone? You think so? Convinced. Okay.
Right call.
They
get cute. They do stupid stuff.
Yes.
They're gashing them with Pacheco. Why would you go to the gadget stuff there? I think back to the game on Christmas against the Raiders when they're backed up inside their own 10 and they run a gadget play and Mahomes fumbles and the Raiders scoop and score. Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, play it straight up, will you?
At the time, when they ran that play to Hardman, Mahomes was 16 of 20 for 209.
Yeah.
KC as a team ran 16 times for 138 yards. Pacheco, you said, was running 12 for 88.
Yes.
And yet you do the stupid shove, whatever it was, to Hardman, who is not an effective ball player at this point. That's the kind of thing that worries me. And I know that they have 2 Super Bowls. Maybe you could argue they should have more than this because of the play calling and how dumb it gets, quite frankly.
Yep. So they botched it with the fake punt, but they get a second chance after the fumble, and you're thinking, okay, Buffalo can do this, and they still lose. And also what happened with that fumble, because of that fumble, you got the second half and fourth quarter under again. Every Kansas City fourth quarter has gone under this year but one, and they're 17-2 to the under in the second half. That comes in again. But I think it's going to be a whole different animal Sunday going to Baltimore, and the nasty defense you're going to see. And you just got zero resistance from Buffalo, and the fact that they had so many guys hurt as well. But that's just it's a brutal offseason, and they can't get over the hump, and they can't beat these guys. And now they lose. They lost once. One home game going back in the playoffs since the 70s. Now they've lost back-to-back years at home. You couldn't go to Buffalo and win. Now they get beat again.
Absolute killer. Other than the coaching, maybe if they would actually think about making a move here, a flip, what would you do? Are you done with Diggs completely?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Look at his game log, by the way.
Oh, yeah, terrible. He's a headache. He's a diva. The biggest play of the season. He drops. Nowhere to be found anyways.
Right.
Yep, absolutely. And I have to go with a different coach. I have to make some changes, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And then see Mahomes always able to do this now. 9-1-1 ATS as a dog, 8 straight up wins.
There you go.
And I know here I was talking to the guys here. There was avalanche of Kansas City bets. Everything. Kansas City plus the points, money line, and the Chiefs get it done again.